Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to go through the setup wizard so we can set up our trading environment and run the KryptoScalper app. Now, in the previous video, I went ahead and signed up for an account, downloaded and unzipped the app, and registered and generated the API trading keys that we'll need. So if you did not watch that video first, go ahead and watch that one and then come back to this one. So if we go to our folder where we have unzipped our app, let's go to the dist folder, and we'll want to double click on the setup wizard. And when you click on there, you should get a pop-up that will help guide you through the process. All right. Now, if this is your very first time running KryptoScalper and going through this, you want to select one for the easy auto setup. This will help near automatically set up your entire environment with as little keystrokes as possible. So I'm going to go and select one. So first thing it's going to ask you is the email address you use to register with KryptoScalper. So let me go ahead and type in the email address. Then it's going to prompt for the license key. So let me go to my notepad where I copied earlier, and I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that. And hit enter. So then the wizard will then do a validity check on the license key and email. Next, it's going to ask for the platform you want to configure for. So since I want to run on Gate, I'm going to select 3. But if you want to select Binance US, for example, you'll want to go and select 1. So next, it's going to prompt for the API keys for Gate. So here, we're getting prompted for our API version 4 keys. So let's go ahead and copy that. All right, and then it'll prompt you for the secret key next. So that'll be this one down here below, Gate secret. And I'll go ahead and paste that. So next, it's going to validate the API keys. So pay special attention in case the API validation fails. One of the most common reasons why API keys fail to validate is the system clock on your computer may be off by more than a second. If it's off by more than a second, many of these exchanges will reject your API keys. So you want to make sure they're properly synced. Next, the wizard will ask you, where do you want to have your home directory to set up for your trading environment? So by default, it's going to put it in your documents folder under my crypto. So I'm going to go ahead and select Y for yes. And then the next question will be the trading currency you want to use to buy and sell your cryptos. On platforms like Binance.com, Gate, and Huobi, the US Tether is the most liquid currency to you of choice for buying and selling many of the cryptos. On Binance.us, it would be the US dollar. So I'm going to go ahead and select Y here to accept the US Tether as my trading currency. But you can also use Bitcoin if you prefer to use that for buying and selling your cryptocurrency. All right. So now it's reading reading the coins in my Gate account, and it is now going to ask me what percentage of my coins do I want to by default activate for scalp trading. So if you want to activate everything, just go ahead and click Y, select Y for yes for 100%. But if you want to say, for example, leave 10% of your coins to the side and activate 90%, then you'll want to go ahead and put 90. So I'll go ahead and put 90 here and say that by default, I want to activate 90%. But later on, after the wizard is over, you can go in and modify how little or how much of each coin you want to trade. So, but 90% here is the default. All right. So next in the wizard, it's going to now check for minimum trading sizes. So again, the algorithm of KryptoScalper, it trades 1% of your portfolio when it sells and buys. So since Gate's minimum is $1, this setup wizard is going to check to make sure I have at least $100 in each coin. to approve for minimum trading. Actually, since I only activated 90% of my portfolio, it's going to make sure I have at least $110 in my for each coin in order to activate it for trading. If I do not have $110, it's going to remove it, and I will need to buy more of that coin if I want to trade it, and later on add it in this wizard. So here now we're at the end, and it's going ahead and creating the configuration files, and it's showing you where it's loading them, and it's giving you some additional messages here. So again, if you want to add a coin later in the future because one just didn't get added, you can buy more of that coin and then select option 3 to add a coin. If you want to modify an existing coin, such as you want to lower or higher how much is traded, you can select option 4 to modify the parameters of that coin. But at this point, we are done with the wizard. And if we go here to our folder, it has added all these config files. So if we go ahead and take a quick look at one of them, show you how it looks. Here it has all of the necessary parameters and the coins that it has added. You know, a quick way, for example, if you want to remove one of those coins, you can directly edit into the config file. Like let's say here, let's say if I don't want to trade any helium, I can just highlight that entire line, delete it, and save it. I normally don't recommend editing directly into the config files because there's always a chance you can corrupt it, but that's a quick way to remove a coin from trading. And keep in mind, when this is run the first time, these parameters will be only read the very first time you load the config file. I'll show you later on how you can modify the parameters later on. But in general, if you want to modify any of these quantity and floor parameters, go through the setup wizard to make those modifications. So at this point, we are ready to run the app. So here we can double click on KryptoScalper. And when we do so, we'll get a pop-up, and we'll see also another pop-up asking which config file we want to load. So we'll wait for that. And all right. Now, real important, you want to run these config files in order, especially the first one here, the primary one without the number, because loading that first config file without the number will kick off the ticker streamer, which down here, which is what is needed to collect the latest bid and ask prices of each of these coins. So by default, it selects that primary. Let's go ahead and click start. And when you start this, you'll see right here a message here starting the gate ticker streamer. So you'll see this window pop. It'll say it's detected these config files, and it's going to read all of those coins in the config file and start grabbing ticker prices for each one of these trading pairs. So here we can see that it successfully started, and you know your ticker streamer is running when you keep seeing this ticker here constantly incrementing. So once that passes, the actual KryptoScalper application will then start processing the config file. Here, for the very first time, it's stating that there's no JSON parameter files found, so it's going ahead and creating one, and it's using the parameters from our config file. Remember, once these parameter files are created, whatever quantity and floor is in the config file is going to be ignored. So it's going through one at a time, adding the parameters. And this should be almost over now. So here, it's validating that the ticker file for these trading pairs are current. And it's stating here what the next trading price and trading quantity will be. And it's going to start trading it now in the next 10 seconds. Very first time you run it, the profit report will have an error generating. But after that, you should see a profit report. And now here, it is starting. and it's checking each one of these coins for the next trade. And as long as you see these coins ticking on the screen, you know the app is running. So while that is running, I'll go ahead and kick off the second one. So again, we have 5 config files. So to fully run the app, you'll need to load each one of these config files. Later on, but if you have that many config files, what you can also do as an option is you can, instead of running KryptoScalper, you can just double click on launch all KScalpers instead, and it will run all of it at once. So let's go ahead and select the second one, and I'll start that. And because this is not the primary one, it's not going to start the ticker streamer again. So while that is running and processing, I want to go ahead and show you how the home directory now looks like. So right here is my home directory, documents my crypto. And if we go into the params, what you'll see here is the parameter files that is driving the KryptoScalper app, letting you know what was the last price traded, what the floor price is of any coin, and how much of each coin you want traded. And this is how KryptoScalper keeps track of when, what prices should be buying or selling at next. If you go here to the tickers directory, you'll see here that KryptoScalper is recording the latest bid and ask prices for each of these trading pairs. If we double click on one of them, for example, you'll see here that this is $85.92 is the latest bid, and $85.96 is the latest ask for AVAX. And this is updating every few seconds, this ticker. All right, so again, it looks like everything here is running well with KryptoScalper on the second config file. And once you see everything is running well, especially for the first time you're running, you'll then want to go ahead and load the next config files. And generally, as I said, this is how it'll look. If KryptoScalper detects a trade signal, it will look something like this: scalping sell order submitted on gate. So here it looks like I just sold some Thor coins, RUNE, and so again, looks like everything is running well, and this is how it should look. And you want to keep all these windows open for the app to work. All right, so that is it. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and good luck.